Hello, and everybody, welcome to the initial launch of the AGC Phoenix AGC Talks. And today we are going to be getting together with my friend, my coach, my mentor, Jeremy Todd. But first, we got to start off with some housekeeping. AGC Talks. You're on the AGC Talks event. AGC Talks is like a TED Talk. In just a moment, we're going to have a timed 15-minute talk that is motivational, educational, and inspirational. Then we're going to be following that with a questions and answer time with our speaker, Jeremy. AGC is a global networking organization developed by our founder and CEO, Travis Sims. Before we get to our presentation, I'm going to ask you, put it in the comments, what city, what state, what country you're watching from, and if you're watching in live or in replay. You're most likely watching in one of these Facebook groups. Our AGC member exclusive group, where our members can ask for a referral, share a testimonial, or share a link to their business. If you're not a member, we invite you to our AGC public group with over 1,900 people, almost 2,000 people networking with our guided daily networking activities. AGC Talks airs live on social media, but then we push it out. We put it to YouTube, Vimeo, Roku TV, and Amazon Fire TV. So search for Accelerated Global Connections and hit subscribe. Check out the AGC Experience podcast hosted by our founder, Travis Sims, everywhere you listen to podcasts. I like to listen to mine on the YouTube, but if you go anywhere else, it's going to be there as well. Our sponsor for today is Mailbox Power. Mailbox Power is about mailboxes, not inboxes. Building better relationships has never been easier. Using their platform, you can easily send a card and personalized gift to anyone with a simple tap or click, or even better, fully automated. Stop the digital overload and do something that will mean so much more. Mailbox Power is the easiest way to wow people and the way for you to really get their attention. You're going to develop stronger relationships, increase revenue, and improve your customer retention. You know you've reached an entirely new level when you inspire customer referrals and you don't have to constantly ask for them. For more information, contact Bo Young at 320-249-1576 or go to betterappreciation.com. If you would like to get your brand in front of the thousands of people that view AGC Talks, send an email for more information to support@joinagc.com. Following our AGC Talks, our AGC members will meet in our Zoom room to ask for referrals, meet the speaker, build relationships, and do more business. And today, even if you're not a member, we're going to invite you to the Zoom room to be able to participate in this, get to know AGC, get to know Jeremy Todd a little bit, and find out some of the great things we've got going on, including, a little secret here, something that Jeremy Todd's going to offer all of us as a gift. The beautiful thing about AGC Online, you can become an AGC member for only $1 per day. Just visit joinagc.com. Want to send thanks out to our AGC captain team. I'm the captain of the Phoenix, Arizona region. We've got captains all across the United States, and we're growing by leaps and bounds. So make sure you're checking this out and tuning in, because we're going to have a lot of content going out there for you to help. Now, I'd like to present Jeremy Todd. Jeremy Todd delivers million-dollar motivation, inspiration, and success strategies for the entrepreneur, manager, business owner, and salesperson. He's going to help you learn to overcome fear, failure, and adversity by developing a new mindset. His new book, The Positive Side, How I Overcame Bullying, Bankruptcy, and a Bad Attitude, and Found My True Identity, is changing lives all over the world. And when I mean say all over the world, I mean all over the world. Jeremy is fantastic. I've been doing some quotes of his the last couple of days, and his book has made a real impression on me as well. So next, we're going to jump back into our presentation. Jeremy Todd, I'd like to welcome you to the podcast, to the presentation, to the AGC Talks. How are you, my friend?
Man, I'm $1 million. I feel great. I mean, life is good. It's a beautiful morning. I love getting up early, and I love, hey, I just love motivating people, and we're all in this together. And if I can pass some inspiration on to everybody today, man, let's rock and roll. Let's do this.
You know, dude, I like to put it out there kind of at the beginning is you come across people, you work for different companies, and we met through Southwestern, and you were a coach and I was a coach, and we met together at one of the global summits, and you and I think it was Jerry Tussle, went and had some beers and did some talking. And right away, there was a connection and in mindset, in beliefs, and your skill set in getting a message across is beyond compare. You're just phenomenal. And I just want to acknowledge you and say thank you for all you've taught me and helped me with over the last, maybe almost 4 years now?
It's been close to that, yeah. And I appreciate all the kind words, man. And we talked about this briefly yesterday. It's a little bit of that imposter syndrome pops up to me as well. I'm like, come on, dude, I'm not that good. I'm cool, but I appreciate the kind words. But I think the biggest thing with you and me, and the biggest way to get your message across, is really authenticity. When you're super authentic, you don't have to worry about being somebody else or comparing yourself to anybody else. And that's why we kind of connected. We're just, hey, there's the closets are wide open. You can hop on in and we'll tell you everything about my life. And I know everything about your life. Mm-hmm. But again, it's that authenticity and that trust that allows communication to be so much stronger and friendships to last so much longer when you're real with each other.
And like you said, the skeletons are in there, right? But both of us, we stepped over it. We help each other with things. We talk through things. You have been a rock for me over the last few years. And it's just so much fun to see your growth and to see, I know we did talk about the imposter syndrome last night, and I'm all excited, right? I'm like, I get to have Jeremy Todd on, and I get to, I'm reading Jeremy Todd's book, and I'm getting to do this. And you're like, man, I can't believe I'm actually I'm going on here. I'm doing this type of stuff. So thanks for being part of this, and I couldn't be more happy with your success. And I want to say with the book, and we'll get into the presentation in just a moment here, but with the book, I really want to say that I love you read so many books where at the end is the happy ending, right? Because you've gone through the story, right? And this is where I came out, and here's where now I'm all happy and successful and everything's perfect, and here's my struggle. Dude, I love that you share your struggle and that you're still going through it. You're making progress. You're doing these things, but you're still going through the struggle. And I think, dude, that is one of, I don't know, I keep saying dude, but that is one of my favorite things about your book and your life. So thank you for sharing that you're in the middle, right? Because we're all in the middle, really.
Yeah, and I appreciate you saying that. In that book, it goes back to the authenticity. I put some stuff in there, and the book's not that long. It's so funny. I always tell people the most I've ever written in my life is 2 paragraphs, and I wrote a book, which is crazy. But I had a lot to say. I had a lot on my mind, and a lot that I've lived with throughout my life. And you mentioned those things: bullying and bankruptcy and a bad attitude. I'm 5'2", 130 pounds, soaking wet, and I live with this forever. And I got this bone problem as well, and so, it's something I've always dealt with, but it's the physical being, right? It's not the mental inside of my head. And I just got to keep telling myself that as growing up, always being the shortest kid, always getting picked last, all these things that went on. I just kept telling myself, hey, this physical body is not who I am. It's the mental, it's the brain power. It's my mindset. That's truly who I am. And that's truly deep down in all of us. I mean, no matter what you look like, no matter how you feel, one of my favorite quotes of all time is "Comparison's the thief of joy." And I mention that a lot because, it's easy to compare yourself to this person or that person. Why do they have that? But none of that really matters. What really matters is what you feel inside about yourself and keeping that positive mindset. And when you do that, and when you're authentic with yourself, doors that you never imagined will all of a sudden start to open. And what's crazy is all these doors have always been there. It's just we've been so clouded in our own mind that
you got to walk down the hallway to see them, right?
Exactly. You got to get out of your own way. It's the old, be comfortable being uncomfortable. It's that thing. But when you develop the right mindset, getting comfortable being uncomfortable is just a little bit easier. And that authenticity and being honest and okay with who you are, that's made the biggest difference in my life for sure.
We always talk about the getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, and really it comes down to, it's kind of like choosing your own heart, right? Do you want to do the hard things and have an easy life, or do you want to choose easy things and have a hard life? Do you want to be comfortable and uncomfortable with your future, or do you want to be uncomfortable now and comfortable with what's going to happen later on? So yeah. I love that. We got some people checking in already. Let's start off. Well, let's see here. We got Seth Wilcock from Centennial, Colorado is joining us. Seth is a mortgage professional extraordinaire. I work with him quite a bit. We got Donji, who is joining us from Rosemont, Minnesota, so right up the street here. Sheila, thanks for joining us. Sheila Bosworth coming in. Another one of my close friends and mentors, Dawn Bennett. Good morning, live from Minneapolis on my way to Egan. Imagine that. Dawn is in the car driving, participating right now. Jackie Mart, another one of my great friends. She's joined us live from Edina, Minnesota, and she piped in with, yes, the body is where the soul lives. A transport device is all it is, right? So it kind of feed into what you said. Love it. Amy Tyson's joining us from Minnetonka, Minnesota. And what we're going to go to now is we're going to start our presentation, and we'll be talking with Jeremy afterwards as well, getting a little bit more, having a Q&A, and then we'll be going to the Zoom room. You ready there, my friend?
You better believe it, my friend. I'm ready to rock. Let's do this.
All right, let's do this.
7 rules of life. And you know, it's funny. I came up with this a while ago, and really because life gets so complicated sometimes. And I love these numbers. And you can go ahead, Sean, go ahead, hit number 1, and let's get right into it, because these sound so easy, yet we make them very difficult in our life. The very first one, make peace with your past so it won't screw up the present. It's funny, if I go back and I mentioned that the book that I wrote, The Positive Side, one of the things that's in there, and I'm very authentic about this and very true about this, is one of the big things in that book was I was sexually molested as a kid. And I'll never forget that time that it happened. And I carried that baggage with me for 30 years. I mean, it wasn't on the top of my mind. It wasn't like I thought about it like, oh my gosh, woe is me all the time. But I always thought about it, and I was ashamed and felt guilty. When I actually identify my true authentic self, I can't change that past. When I put that in the book, I just felt like all these things just released off my shoulders. I felt like I was at peace with who I am. And I mentioned that we make peace with your past so it won't screw up the present. Is how many other things in our lives, whether it be the tragic situation I went through, but all the things that are in your head that maybe you haven't told anybody. Are we still holding on to these things? Are they dragging us down? I think about that imagery of the show The Biggest Loser, when people are, they lose that weight. And then later on in the show, they put that weight back on and they continue to carry it. We don't realize how much of that weight is on us. But also understanding that the past doesn't define our future. And that, again, that's why I love number 1, because if you focus on the past, you're never going to be your true authentic self for the people that need you the most in your life, your kids, your spouse, your friends, your loved ones. When you're truly authentic with yourself, that's truly when greatness comes out. Number 2, what others think of you is none of your business. That is the best, isn't it? I mean, I love that quote. Let me read that one more time for the people way in the back. What others think of you is none of your business. And again, I mentioned earlier, it's the, comparison's the thief of joy, right? We think about that all the time as, well, what if I go for my goals and dreams and they fail? What would my parents think? I started the Positive Side podcast just over 4.5 years ago. And I'll never forget when I started the podcast, and, I sent the first episode out and I hit send. It went out to, just people on my phone. There's probably 50, 60 people that got it. And I got all these quotes back from, are you okay? Do you need help? Do you need money? It was great. And what was also interesting was some of the people that I loved the most, they weren't really on board. My parents, even my spouse at the time, she just, it was more like, why are you doing this? And if I stayed in that area, if I kept thinking about that, what other people thought, I would never be where I am today. And over time, and just kind of continually listening to it over and over and over, but eventually they go away. All these haters that are trying to pull you back down to where they are, they end up going away. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about you. Again, and we go back to that mindset. It's what we think about ourselves. And do we actually truly believe in our dream? Sure, it gets hard, but we have to remember that it's whatever other people think of us is none of our business. Number 3, time heals almost everything. Give it time. again, it's one of those things that, we can always picture. The first thing that always comes to my mind is having a loved one pass away. And recently here in Fort Wayne, I'm in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I've had a good friend of mine that lost their son at a very, very young age within the last 4 or 5 days. And I think to myself, when I was, reviewing all these numbers in there, and time heals almost everything. Give it time. It heals almost everything to give it time, but it's like you never forget. Things will get better no matter the struggle you're going through, no matter the tough times you're at, no matter where you are in your life. Things are going to get better. You just have to give it time. I did a quick episode the other day. My goofy butt was walking out of my front door and tripped on the stairs and busted up my elbows, and I still got scabs on my arms and everything. It will heal over time, but I've got to give it time. There may be scars left over. There may be I may remember the things that have happened to me in the past, the bad times, but I've got to give it time. It's gonna get better. This past couple of years with COVID and people being locked in, and the depression rates have gone through the roof, and sometimes people out there, hey man, I just can't get over this. I promise you. And I say it in every single episode, you have greatness within, but you've got to give it time. So no matter where you are in your business, your family, your social life, whatever that case is, no matter how bad it looks, you've got to give it time. And I promise you, you will overcome all these obstacles. And the old saying, you've already overcome everything in your past already. Why would that change in the future? So no matter what you're going through, give it time. Number 4, don't compare your life with others, and don't judge them. One of my favorite things, again, I got a lot of favorite things, don't I? It's great. One of my favorite things is when I compare myself to other successful people. I do that, okay? I'm like, why can't that be me? Why can't I be successful like them? What did they do? How did they get over? Why are they so lucky? And I judge them. I'm like, it's like I take their greatness away and trying to lower them down to where I am. And yet it doesn't help anybody. It's not going to help them. It's not going to change them, because successful people really don't care. Right. But it changes me. It takes away my greatness by trying to compare myself. The worst thing you could do is judge anybody, right? Because, it's the old saying, when you point one finger at somebody else, you got 3 pointing back at yourself. Well, that is a reality. I've done that for a long, long time. I'm getting better. But again, we've all had our own journeys. We all have our own struggles, and we don't know the path that anybody else has been on. I don't know the path that you've been on, and you don't know the path that I've been on, but together, we always get, we'll get further together than we will independently. Number 5, stop thinking too much. It's all right not to know the answers. They will come to you when you least expect it. Again, this is one of those things that Brendan Burchard, when we talk about this over time, doing the habits, the power of habits, doing the little things will come up, and they come to you when you're ready. When I started the Positive Side podcast, I hired a coach named Sam Crowley. You should check him out. He's got a podcast called the Every Day is Saturday. I'll never forget what I hired him. I said, Sam, man, this is going to be the greatest podcast in the world. There's no way I'm going to be able to handle all this. I'm going to have people calling me from around the world, wanting to be on my show, and autograph sessions. It was great. And you can just see the gears turning. He's just shaking his head. It's like, bro, don't worry about it, my friend. You're thinking about it way too much. These answers will come to you over time, but you just got to keep going. And I think that's one of the biggest things when we talk about these goals and dreams, and we're in the middle of it, or if it's just not working right, we just have to give these things time, because all the opportunities come to us when we're ready. And I still forget. I still think about it, and I use this all the time when I coach my own clients. It's just we are on this journey for a specific reason. You see that path for success where it's all squiggly lines. That's a reality. You're going to go ups and you're going to go down. So whether you're no matter what industry you're in, whether you're in the mortgage industry, the real estate industry, the insurance industry, whether you're in the podcast industry, coaching industry, whatever, your success will come to you when you're ready. So don't ever rush it. Enjoy the ride, enjoy life, and then just be present is one of the most important things. Number 6, no one is in charge of your happiness except you. And that is so right. We can look towards other things. We can look towards other people, but at the end of the day, we're never going to be able to help anybody until we help ourselves. One of the things that I've struggled with throughout my life is alcoholism. I've always, I'll have a good day, and maybe, hey, I'm going to reward myself with a beer or a couple of drinks. I had a bad day. What do you do then? You reward yourself with a beer or a drink. And this is something I've struggled with for a long, long time. And I still struggle, right? I mean, hey, I'm in it every single day, and I'm working on my mindset. But I remembered when this happens to me, all these things that are happening to me, I'm in charge of how I react to it. Not this alcohol, not any kind of drugs or whatever the case is. I'm in charge of my happiness. I can't look towards other opportunities out there for either people trying to help me, which is good. You know, I have coaches as well that help, but at the end of the day, the only thing that's going to matter is the happiness within myself. Understanding that I do have greatness within. I am important enough. I just did a video this morning on my YouTube channel that just said you are enough. And I am enough. And I think that's important when you do your positive affirmations in the morning, which I do every single day. I've got them all over my apartment. I'm going to get them on the mirror. I got them on the refrigerator. I got them everywhere. But when you go through these positive affirmations every day and you start your day off right, you are enough is it's a big one, because we're going to get all kinds of outside sources that tell us why we suck and why we're no good and why we're terrible, why this didn't work out. It's never going to work. But we got to understand that no one is in charge of any of that stuff except the way we feel. So if we can start out every single morning with doing those positive affirmations, getting that mindset right first thing in the morning, listen to a motivational video, listen to a motivational podcast, and really take charge of that happiness, your life will change by leaps and bounds. Finally, number 7, smile. And I love smile. You don't own all the problems of the world. Man, how real is that? You know, every morning I look at Twitter and I look at all the craziness going around the world, and man, oh man, I am too blessed to be stressed. And I think if you look at yourself in the mirror, I would say that you are in the same exact situation. You know, again, comparison's a thief of joy. However, when you actually compare yourself to, to people in different countries or people that are extremely sick or whatever the case is, you don't have all these other problems. You've got a roof over your head. It's that attitude of gratitude that Zig Ziglar always talks about. And I'm telling you, a smile goes a long way. And if I take it one extra step further, man, smile at strangers. I'm telling you what, you never know. That may be the only smile they get that day. You don't know what they're going through. But a smile will change the world. I promise you, on everything I love. But that, my friends, are the 7 rules of life that I live by and I think about, and I've got them written down and I go over. I say to them in my podcast every single day, well, every single episode that I do, you've got greatness within. And believe me, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. We all do. Today is going to be great. Sean, thank you for allowing me to do this. Oh yeah, real quick, picture of my kids. The reason I really like this picture, and you know, Sean said, hey, let's get a picture of you smiling with your family and all that stuff. But the reason I really love this picture with my kids is that it just reminds me how important time is. This was back in Asheville, North Carolina. I lived there for a couple of years. And we went for a hike one day, and you can just see no care in the world, just being present and being happy at that exact time. And I think to myself, man, how fast is time flying? So everything that you go through the rest of the day, just keep in mind, time's flying. Be present and enjoy your life, because life is very, very short. You never know when your card's going to get pulled. That's why it's so important to treat everybody with respect, smile, and be extremely present. Sean, thank you.
Well, man, Jeremy Todd, way to bring the heat, and right on time. I mean, boom, we're sliding in just at the right time slot. So I want to give a shout out to some of the people who have made comments and who have let us know that they are here. Let's see, we got Tammy Wagner, another powerful, great mortgage person out of the Twin Cities. She's joining us from Woodbury. We got people from all over the country here, man. This is just awesome. Carrie Sweet Kostopoulos, who I will be talking with after our presentation today, says good morning. She's from New Jersey. So I gave Dawn Bennett a little bit of heat there, but she wasn't actually driving yet. She wanted us to know. She's always safe when she does. Another one of our captains here with AGC, Becky Speed, says good morning. She's doing live in Woodbury. Dawn says, so true about the judgment. We each have our own strengths and specialties, and judging others for their strength. And I just lost it. There it is. Live TV, it's wonderful. And judging others for their strength and specialty does everybody a disservice. We can all be amazing and strong. There's always enough to go around. Seth Wilcox also adds, we also need to learn how to recognize opportunities and take action on those opportunities.
Absolutely.
When they're in front of us. I just did one of your quotes from your book, The Positive Side, available at all retailers that go through Amazon. And that was one of the quotes I just did about how you talked about you need to take the opportunities are always there, but as time goes by, there's less and less opportunity. So you
Absolutely.
need to take action.
Absolutely.
Let's see what else we got. Carrie mentions, I'm working on being present. How do you stay present, Jeremy? How do you do it?
Yeah. Hey, let's not BS about it. It's difficult, right? Because we got so many things going on in our life. The phone, the phone's a big one, right? We're all constantly looking at the phone. One of some of the things I do, it sounds so easy and so cliche. I just shut the phone off, and the anxiety kicks up right away. Like, oh my God, who's trying to text me? Who's trying to email me?
I just had this conversation with Carrie yesterday, matter.
It sounds cliche, but in reality, that's the best way to do it. And the other thing that I like to do is just good old fashioned go for a walk, go for a bike ride, and get away. When you walk away, like not only shut the phone up, but leaving it and then getting away, like go away somewhere. You don't have to go like on a trip. Well, you could go on a trip, but walk around the park, walk around the block, walk anywhere. It sounds so easy. It sounds so cliche again, but man, oh man, I tell you what, in the crazy fast world that we have right now, you'll be shocked on how quickly life slows down. And take the headphones out too. I guess that's another thing. Sometimes when I go for a walk, I'll put the headphones in, listen to music or a podcast. But again, your mind's still going a million miles an hour. And one of the best ways to stay present is just shut it all out and just get away and be within yourself. Meditation's huge for me as well. I think meditation helps a lot. I meditate every single day. That helps a lot as well.
A lot of people who count on meditation, and it's interesting because meditation can be done so many different ways.
Absolutely.
Right? It's not a certain way where people think you have to go and sit there for 2 hours.
Exactly.
So, Travis Sims, our CEO and founder, chimes in. He comes on with us, looking great, guys. Travis is our CEO and our founder, and he's got decades of experience when it comes to networking and being present and helping people. And being able to be part of AGC has just been a blessing for me and so many others. And thanks for chiming in, Doug. Or I'm sorry, for chiming in, Travis. Jackie adds in, kids are amazing to watch. They're always in the moment. My nieces and nephew really opened my eyes to what is important in life.
Yeah.
Isn't that so true?
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Kids, they'll pick up the dandelion, right? We look at a dandelion in the yard and we're like, oh, great. They pick it up. It's a flower, right? They're present. They're in the moment.
Oh, yeah.
We have a Facebook user who will remain unnamed. Says, fantastic discussion. Thanks, guys, for chiming in. Doug Houston, another mortgage person who I am working with. Meditation and gratitude journal help keep me present in the moment.
Absolutely.
Like you said, so huge, so huge. I've got a couple questions for you, Jeremy, because I took a bunch on in my notebook here. One of the things you talk about is thinking too much. How do you handle thinking too much? And that kind of goes in with what we were talking about, being present and turning off the phone. But how do you handle thinking too much?
Well, I think I'm one of those guys. I probably overthink everything. But one of the things that I actually do, and I've learned this over time, is yes, I think too much, but also I've become a better listener, if that makes any sense. So when I'm thinking, I'm actually listening to what the other person's saying and having the conversation instead of thinking about how I'm going to react to it. When I think about, what's my response going to be, or trying to defend myself versus in a situation, I like to listen to what they're saying, and then I think about that. I think about is my comment back to this person, is it coming from a place of love and gratitude? Because I think that's so important. Did I actually listen to what they're saying to me? I overthink everything, but I think that's okay. I don't want to put a bad analogy in it or a bad connotation with it. But one of the things you have to do, and you just mentioned it, and I mentioned in the book, is you got to take action. You can think about it all day long, but I think one of the things is it's like, you dip your toe in the water and you can think about how cold the water is over and over and over. And I don't want to get in. I don't want to jump. I don't want to splash. But eventually you got to jump in the water. And then you understand how great the water is, right? But that's the biggest thing is overthinking. Yes, I do. But the biggest thing is I just take action. And it goes back to, I just don't care what other people think about me. I really don't. And I know that I say it in the podcast, I know I have greatness within. I know I've got good ideas, and they may not respond back to me the way I think they are, but this is how I truly feel. This is where I think a lot of, like you look at school systems where kids are, not raising their hand and saying that what they feel inside because they're worried about what other people are going to think. That's one of the worst things ever. You need to get those ideas out there. You need to talk about it. You need to get those goals out there. And if you're not with the right people, maybe that's one you got to change the people around with. You and I talk so often because I can bank an idea off you and say, Sean, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? And I just, I know you come from a place of love and trust and honesty. I don't have to worry about what I say to you. That's one of the biggest things, I guess, when you talk about overthinking is overthink with the right people. Overthink with people that will give you good feedback and be honest with you. That makes a big difference as well. Help me grow. Yeah, I want to help you grow, and you want to help me grow. That's why we make a good team.
Yep, and it brings me back to one of the things I asked you a little while ago was when I was doing videos and such. I said, hey, can you give me some feedback on this? And I know coming from you, and I know coming from certain people, I'm very blessed to have people around me like Travis, like you, like Brent Widman, like Jackie Mart, people who are going to give me honest feedback and not to point out or be, to catch me, I caught you doing this wrong or whatever, but to actually help and grow. So absolutely. I appreciate the heck out of you guys for all that. As people have seen going across the bottom, besthalfyear.com. Tell us a little bit about that, and then the offer you're presenting to the AGC viewers and others who are watching.
Well, I'll tell you what, I cannot wait for besthalfyear.com or for the best half year. June 15th, I'm going to rock and roll on, I think it's a Tuesday. I think right around 3:00 Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to flat out show everybody how to have the best second half of the year of your life. One of my biggest fears, and I'm sure it's everybody's, is, laying on your deathbed saying that, man, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have did that. And we look back at January 1st, like I got all these gigantic goals, and all of a sudden, March comes, April comes, all of a sudden springtime, and we haven't really dove into our goals, or they faded off, or we're just not as dialed in as we should be. Starting July 1st, we got 6 months left to go in the year. And like I said, June 15th, I'm going to have typically I charge $30 to get in. It's very, very inexpensive. But for all the AGC listeners that are out there, that's going to be completely free. Jump in the group. You can email me at jeremy@jeremytodd.com, thepositivesidepodcast.com, besthalfyear.com. Get signed up. And we're going to show you, just an insight, we're going to show you how to plan the correct schedule, how to plan your day, how to actually plan goals, like goal setting for 6 months, and how we're going to hold each other accountable throughout these next 6 months. But I'm telling you, if you're tired of being in the same spot over and over and over, year after year after year, and never achieving these goals, and then, January 1st comes around, I'm going to do it again, and then again, we're in the exact same spot year after year. This is your chance to break that. besthalfyear.com. Run over there, sign up. It's going to be awesome, and I'd love, love, love for you to be in there.
Is there a way for people to mention that they heard it through the AGC podcasts or the social media?
Absolutely. Do that. And if, for anybody that signs up for besthalfyear.com, I know you were talking about this earlier, Sean. We'll also go ahead and mail out one of my books to you. So after you sign up,
don't be taking my steam here.
I want to, damn it. I want
to take care of my friend Jeremy. So what Jeremy and I talked about, if you go to besthalfyear.com, you sign up, he's going to get those names. Make sure you let him know how you heard of it. And I am going to get from Jeremy Todd a couple of signed books for those people. We're going to do, I don't know, what should we say? 2 books, 3 books?
Whatever. Yeah.
Something like that.
And
your name will go into a drawing to get a free book signed by Jeremy Todd and sent out to you for going to besthalfyear.com. So as we're wrapping up, Travis brings up awesome gift to AGC members. Thank you. Donji, thank you for that gift. Looking forward to joining you. Check out Donji's social media as well. She's killing it as well. So
I will make sure everybody on here as well. Make sure we connect on all social media as well, Facebook and all that good stuff. I'm all over the place. So yeah, make sure we connect. That would be awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
So I follow you on, like I said, on YouTube. I follow your podcast. You're pretty much available on all the formats for podcasting, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. You just search anything, iTunes, Pandora, Stitcher. I've really focused in the last few months trying to get my YouTube channel going. Boy, it's tougher than I thought it would be. I would love anybody to subscribe. Tell me what I can do better. I guess that's the other thing is, even if you listen to my podcast, hey, Jeremy, you can do this better. Or how about this topic? I just love the feedback. Hey, we're all in it together. We're all trying to get better together. And I would just love any kind of feedback. Hey, if your Facebook page is cool, but you should do this, or man, hey, just let me know. I want to get better just like you.
Well, Tammy gave us a little feedback here. Tammy Wagner, best half year. Love it.
Oh, heck yeah, Tammy.
We're going to wrap it up here. We're going to be meeting Jeremy in the Zoom room after this. Any parting words, my friend?
You know what? No, man. I mean, I'm fired up. And hey, if we can start every day off getting fired up every single morning, man, what difference does that make? And the other thing I love this being on a Friday. Man, one of the most important days of the week. Are we going to go off like a rocket on a Friday, or are we going to take off like a rocket and then go down? Hey, it's lunchtime, TGIF. I'm out of here. And that really sets up your following week on that following Monday. I'm a big believer. Had a huge Friday. Set that Friday up, or set your Monday up Friday. It's the old saying, which I love. Win tomorrow today, right? And we can use that on a Friday going into a Monday. Win Monday on Friday, right? And I think that's so important. So get fired up. Have a great day. And I can't wait to hear all the feedback. And I hope you go to besthalfyear.com.
All right. We'll see you in the Zoom room in a moment here, sir.
Absolutely.
Excuse me. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We've got a few more things that we're going to be going through here. Man, Jeremy I just love him, man. His attitude, and he brought up about Fridays, right? That's why I picked Friday mornings, because so many people have already started the weekend yesterday, basically, and having something for you guys to come and to motivate you on a Friday is really kind of my goal here with AGC Phoenix. And we're with everything we do, it comes down to, how can we help you motivate? How can we help you be motivated? How can we help give you more things that are going to help you and your business when it comes to all of these things? So members, be sure to join us in the Zoom room for additional time with our speaker and to market your business, ask for referrals, and build relationships. It's fun being in there, right? You make connections, you talk with people, you find out how you can help and how they can help you. AGC Talks, here's the different places we are. AGC Minnesota, we've got a bunch of chapters in AGC Minnesota, AGC Indiana, AGC Iowa, AGC California, woohoo, AGC Arizona in the house, AGC Missouri. We are growing nationally, and as our name says, globally, right? That is our whole goal, is to connect people in a way that's a little bit different than what's already out there, that's going to help grow your business. We have weekly talks airing live weekly during the morning, midday, and evening across the country. We want to say thank you to Gandhi Wall and Global IT for supporting our website and making it capable for our members to create profiles, connect, and direct message. That is one of the coolest things about being part of the community and joining AGC, is all the different people that you will be connected to. And you're able to direct message them, right? This isn't some spamming thing where they don't know you, don't know them. You have us in common. You have AGC, Accelerated Global Connections, in common. If you're looking for a community to plug into that values motivation, educations, relationships, referrals, and more closed business, join AGC by going to joinagc.com and becoming a member for only $1 per day. That's right. And I'm going to say, oh, that's a cup of coffee, right? $1 per day. I mean, what can you get for $1 per day? A third of a tank of gas these days? Well, this is where I say my goodbye. Until next time, we're going to see you in the AGC Zoom room next. Yeah.